Good morning, everybody who's already joined us. It's right at 10 o'clock, and we want to give some other folks a chance to join us before we get fully started. So we're going to spend another 30 seconds letting everybody just kind of settle in, and we'll get going shortly. Okay, I don't know if that's 30 seconds, but my clock says it's 10:03, and I don't like to waste those of you who arrived on time. I don't want to waste your time, so we're going to get going. Thank you all so much for joining us here at another session of Thinking Differently with Catapult Employers Association. I'm Dr. Carly Houchins, and I lead the Learning Solutions Group, and you're going to meet a couple of my colleagues on that team shortly. And you're also going to meet one of our longstanding members and learning partner over a decade with Mecklenburg County. But before I get into that, I'm supposed to do a little PSA. So I'm going to just remind those of you that are members that you have access to so many different resources with Catapult. You have 24/7 an HR advice line. You have access to employment attorneys, a best-in-class HR solution that includes recruiting, background checks, fractional and interim HR, leadership for your organization, training and development for all levels of your employees, and so much more. Now, for those of you that are joining us that are not members, and we occasionally have non-members join our Thinking Differently, that list should be a reason for your ears to perk up and consider the benefits of joining Catapult. So we invite you to explore those resources. In today's competitive environment, having access to those kind of resources such as 24/7 HR professionals and employment attorneys can really make the difference in your organization's future and your own personal success. So when you become a member, you receive all kinds of discounts, including the kinds of training and development that we're going to be talking about extensively today. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started on the program that you came here to hear about and learn a little bit more about. But we're also going to ask you a few questions. And so we're going to do some polls throughout to kind of see where our audience is and what kinds of activities are going on in your organization. It helps us to understand our members better by asking these questions, and we want to be always aware of meeting your needs. So the first question, poll question, is going to be about your current training programs for your employees. Are you currently offering training programs for your employees? Pretty straightforward, yes, no, or currently looking at. So I see that we got some answers here. Let me give you a bit of time to respond because we really want to understand where you are. So it looks like a good percentage of you are investing in your employees, which is great. That kind of investment pays off, as you're going to be hearing from Bryan shortly. So it looks like we end up with about almost 70% of you that are currently offering some type of training and others are 14% looking for the options and opportunities. So I'll tell you that 14% you have showed up in the right place today as you're looking, and another 17% of you are not currently offering. So maybe you'll learn some things today that give you a reason to look at that again. All right. So I think we're done with the poll. We're going to move into introducing the program today, which is about the program that the relationship we've been running with Mecklenburg County for a number of years now. So Thinking Differently really is a series that we offer. I believe it's monthly. I don't host them every month, but yes, it is monthly. And we really try to bring you some things that cause you to maybe reconsider or think about things differently relevant topics and recent activity, things going on in the marketplace, in the industry that help you to stay informed and up to date. And what we want to do more than anything is to give you the knowledge and solutions on those topics that really make your company successful wherever you are. So today we're going to be looking at a case study that you may have heard a little bit about already, but we have a longstanding relationship with Mecklenburg County that has really contributed to their ability to upskill staff for the future. It's the first time we've featured a case study with one of our members. So Bryan, we really appreciate your joining us. And we were going to kind of dive into a little bit more detail about that relationship. It's a partnership that's focused on positive outcomes for not only employees, but the organization overall. And they came to us with challenges that every organization faces, large or small: retaining good employees, giving them a chance to move internally, developing those employees and giving them a chance to develop and move around in the organization, making a greater contribution. So I'm going to let you know that we will invite your questions throughout the program if you'll use the chat feature to post your questions, and then we'll have some time at the end where we'll come back and try to give you some good answers and respond to your questions. So please be posting in the chat regularly as we go throughout the hour. Let me introduce the panel before we start talking about what we've done together and have them share their roles at Mecklenburg County and at Catapult Employers Association. So we have with us today Bryan Calkin, Dawn Gates, and Tracy Mambrino. So Bryan, we're going to start with you. If you tell us just a bit about what you do at Mecklenburg County. So come off mute. Great.
Hey, as you said, I'm Bryan Calkin. Been working at Mecklenburg County for about 2 years. I've been in the training and development space off and on for probably the last 20 years. I have moved into a management role and supervisory role in healthcare and other organizations, but enjoying this role as a learning and organization effectiveness consultant here for the past couple years at Mecklenburg County.
Thank you. And Dawn Gates.
Good morning. I see some familiar faces and names on here, and I always love when that happens. So good morning, everybody. I am Dawn Gates, and I am a learning partner at Catapult Association. And I am a facilitator. I do professional skills as well as technology skills. And I've been with the association. This week is my 12th anniversary. So there we go. So I'm going to pass it on to Tracy.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So glad you could be with us today. And I also am a learning partner here at Catapult, and I do the management and professional development courses. I'm also certified in everything DISC and other assessments. So we're looking forward to working with you all today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn, Tracy, and Bryan. And for those of you that are here to listen and learn, you have the best source between these three. They have lived and breathed the Catapult Employers Association in Mecklenburg County relationship, and they know all the secrets, everything that's been going on all the years. So if we don't answer your question today, I'm sure they would be happy to spend a few minutes with you afterwards. Just reach out to them directly, and they'd be happy to share with you. So let's get started with how this partnership began between Mecklenburg County and Catapult. So Dawn, I'm going to start with you because you have the longest relationship, the longest tenure in this relationship. So how did it begin? About 12 years ago? What kind of training and what was it for?
So that 12 years, that's actually why I told you that was my anniversary this week. One of the first things I did when I started was working directly with Mecklenburg County to start off their relationship. Now, the relationship actually started with Mecklenburg County longer. They've been a member. They joined membership with the Employers Association, who is a legacy company here in Charlotte. And that was about 30 years ago. But about 12 years ago, they put an RFP out for their technology, their computer skills training. And we were successful in being awarded that contract. So our training with the Mecklenburg County group actually started in 2012. The courses originally focused on the Microsoft Office suite, and the delivery options started as in person right in our Charlotte Learning Center. And we now also have the availability to be virtual. And the biggest thing was the availability of us to go into their Mecklenburg County's learning management system. It allowed us to put our courses into their system so that their staff could register directly from within there. And we've trained, I think it's been over 2,000 staff members since 2012, many of them coming back for the advanced courses to keep themselves current and valuable to the organization.
Thank you, Dawn. That's a great overview of what we've done on the technology skills side and a long-standing relationship there. So, Bryan, tell us a little bit more about how the relationship has grown more recently, the training that we've added, and what were the goals with that additional set of courses?
Well, as this relationship has been going on over the years, we have had some version of this administrative professionals program. And during the pandemic, it kind of went dormant. And so when I was hired, I was tasked with reviving that. So we wanted to bring it up to date. We wanted to make sure that we recognize the need to continue that professional development opportunity for those folks. So worked with Tracy and Dawn and a few others to make sure that we were getting some up-to-date, relevant learning and growth opportunities. And so we revived this administrative professionals series to, I guess, meet this need, to give those folks in that role the opportunity to take some of these classes in person and virtually to develop those skills. So not just the soft skills, the in-person classes, but also the technical skills if they wanted to improve in, say, Excel or PowerPoint or Outlook, something along those lines. They could pursue both of those opportunities. So we just recreated the framework. We would have them apply. We would talk about, their participation, and then we would have a kickoff meeting and then understand the requirements of that relationship. So it's been reinvigorated over the past couple of years and to much success.
Well, and I know we've got one of those kickoff sessions coming up with you later this month. I believe Dawn and Tracy and I will all be showing up at Mecklenburg County to talk about at your offices and to talk about this and interact with prospective participants and give them more information. And that's always a highlight for us to get to meet your fellow colleagues at Mecklenburg County and help them understand the benefit of participation in this program. So, Tracy, you have been the facilitator for so many, if not all, of the classes that we've offered to Mecklenburg County for this administrative professional series. What are the courses in the program and what do they offer the participants?
So it's been an honor to be a partner with Bryan and Mecklenburg County, and thank you so much. So I love the opportunities because these were the actual core skills, as Bryan just mentioned, and competencies such as communication. We focus on customer service, time management, and the interpersonal skills. And so we chose 4 professional development courses. The first one was Becoming the Totally Responsible Person. So that's a course really talking about how to be accountable for your own actions, focusing on staying positive, productive, and effective, no matter what the circumstances are. So that's been a full day program. And then our other 3 programs we chose reflected on 3 half-day programs. So the one of those was effective business writing. So really just some general guidelines to be clear and concise when communicating with different audiences, again, through email, proofing and editing your work. And then we had a lot of requests for time management. I think a lot of people need that today. And so this course really focuses on prioritizing your work, planning, scheduling your work tasks, and just really trying to eliminate a lot of time wasters. And then the last one we chose was the customer service. So that was how to handle challenging customer situations, how to understand and help the customer, and then knowing what the customer needs and creating solutions to those problems.
Yeah. So those are foundational courses for anyone who really wants to be successful in the workplace. And the fact that Mecklenburg County has committed to offering a series that their employees can go through and prepare. I think one of the things that I love about training and development is that it really gets people ready for what comes next. And I think that, that kind of comes back to the objectives of retention and internal mobility that so many organizations have. If you have good people, you want them to be ready. You want them to have the opportunity to advance, to get that next promotion. And this is a way that Mecklenburg County has committed to doing it on the soft skills side, on the professional development side, as well as on the technical skills side, using software that enables them to be more productive, more effective, more efficient in their roles throughout their time and career. So thank you all for giving us kind of that overview, that understanding of why Mecklenburg County did this to begin with, and what the big pieces of our training relationship with Mecklenburg County has been over the years. I believe we have another poll. So those of you that are are listening intently, please join us with the second poll of the day. I'm going to make sure that it gets up on the screen. Poll number 2 asks, what areas of in your organization are you looking to focus on for your employees? So management development, tech skills, communication, or other soft skills are the choices that we've got in the poll today. So let's see where you all are. Give everybody a chance to get in and register their current focus on employees and what you want to develop in those employees. So it looks like almost half of you are looking at management development as a real area of focus for your employees. And we hear that a lot from our members, that you maybe have moved people into a role of supervising and managing other employees for the first time. And we're not born knowing how to do that. And so some good training, some good knowledge and skill development is always beneficial to the individual. So they feel more successful, more prepared, as well as the organization seeing the benefit of that, a stronger manager in place. But it's great to see that so many of you also are looking at other aspects of employee development, soft skills, almost a quarter of you, and the remainder with interest in technology skills and communication. My guess is we only allowed you to choose one. But if we had said choose as many as apply, which often you see on a poll, we might have had 100% all across the board. But since you had to choose, we know where you landed. But we appreciate that, and we know that these are all areas that the case study that we're going through today really addresses for Mecklenburg County, and we've seen benefit to those employees. So let's move on and talk about how did we do this? Let's get down another level of detail in terms of what Mecklenburg County has been able to get from Catapult and our services. So the original training program focused in on technical skills or computer training. And that's part of what we offer as public training. So any member and really anyone can access these courses that are regularly scheduled and available. And as Dawn mentioned earlier, we've now coordinated our schedule with the learning management system in-house at Mecklenburg County so that their employees can really, they have an ease of access that makes it convenient for them to sign up. So tech skills are available throughout the year, virtually or in person. So Dawn, tell us about how we support the learners in the tech skill courses so they choose the right level of course, the right one for them, so that that they get the optimal benefit of the training that they're going to receive.
So happy to. So we have a skills survey for many of the Microsoft applications, and the surveys ask the participants to do a self-analysis of how comfortable they are with key topics in the different packages. What we do then is we actually compile the results, and then it shows their strengths and where their weaknesses lie. The surveys only take about 5 minutes to complete. And when they get the results for us for the administrative professional series, it would go to Bryan. And then Bryan now has a talking point with each one of those people in the professional series to be able to talk through and tell them which class would be best suited for them for an entry point.
Yeah, so it's a real useful tool, as you said. So one of the unique features of our approach with Mecklenburg County has been this idea of customizing to fit not only individuals, which is what Dawn was talking about, as they're looking at which classes, but also the groups of employees. And we refer to it as private group training within our organization. So Bryan, can you talk a little bit about why that private group approach was important in the additional courses that we offer to Mecklenburg County?
Well, when I first started working with Catapult, Dawn and Tracy in particular, we talked about that skills survey, and that helped us to understand what our specific needs and goals were, because we got a snapshot of where our administrative professionals were as far as their competence, their confidence with those technical skills. So being able to visualize that information and say with each program that they might be working with, that they might need a refresher with this set of skills, or they're fully confident and competent with this other set of skills. So I think it was a tremendous bit of feedback for both of us, both for them, for me, and for the folks there at Catapult, to help us understand. And from there, we developed these learning tracks. So we had a better understanding of what technical skills were necessary to emphasize in the courses, the technical courses. But then it also gave us a chance to kind of round out and complement, that set of skills with the in-person classes, the soft skills. So it was a really good complementary customization that gave us a really solid understanding of where we wanted to go. It helped us to align where our folks were with where we wanted them to be at an organizational level.
Yeah, Bryan, I like the way you talked about that. It's really personalizing the learning so that you really get the maximum benefit for each individual, and making sure that the programs that they're going into, the courses that they're taking, align with the individual goals as well as the organizational goals that Mecklenburg County has. We know that most organizations have really struggled with hiring and retention over the last number of years. And so one way to do that, one way to accomplish that, is preparing the people that you already have, your existing employees, for what their next role, their next responsibilities may be. And that probably engenders a fair amount of loyalty, and people will stay with you longer. So thank you for describing why this has been important to your organization. I'm going to shift back to the technology skills. And Dawn, I want you to tell us a little bit more about those tech skills, the format, the delivery, the sign up, and talk. We've touched on this earlier, but now let's get down to a level of detail. But before you do that, I'm going to remind our participants that we are inviting your questions in the chat. So I don't see very many questions yet, and I would like to remind folks that as we're hearing about this program with Mecklenburg County, about the things that Catapult has done with them, I'm sure you have thoughts. I'm sure you have questions. Please feel free to put them in the chat. We're saving a little bit of time at the end to come back to those. So Dawn, sorry for the interruption there. Tell us about the formats, the delivery, the sign up process that we implement, that we utilize with tech skills in Mecklenburg County.
Perfect. Well, the original goal for the tech skills was we wanted everybody to have a good overview of the most commonly used pieces of software: Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. The program started everybody at levels 1 and 2. And like Bryan said, they were able to then do the survey and then pick what was needed for the positions they were in. And for those that just needed 1 and 2, they had that foundation. And for those that required even higher, they could request those more advanced levels and actually attend those as well. The courses are held in person as well as virtual. We even do some hybrid so that you'll have both in one session, which is always fun because you have more people and you have my favorite part of that is just have the different questions, and those questions usually engage so many more people because they had the same thoughts. Recently, I think as of last year, we even started offering different time zones, and that helps with different shifts. And for the rest of the companies, it also helps if you have people that work in different time zones. So we started some of our classes at different times. So we have some that are running the normal like Eastern Standard 9 to 4, but we also have some at like 11 to 6, some that start at 9 a.m., some that start at 1 p.m. So that this way just about everybody could join and have that comfort of it.
Yeah.
The registration for the employees, it was made seamless since our contract allowed us to actually upload the courses into Mecklenburg County's learning system. The employees just go on and they find the courses listed with the training that's already available through Mecklenburg County. So they just can go in and go ahead and sign up, and then we go into their system and then register them into our system so that everything is done both ways. But Mecklenburg County has a lot of hands off. It's just kind of done seamless through the whole process for them.
Thank you. I think that that is one of the benefits that we try to offer to our members, is try to be as easy as possible to do business with and to take advantage of the Catapult solutions that we offer, not just in training and development, but whether you're coming to us for HR solutions or various products that we offer to our members. So thank you for emphasizing that we really try to make it easy, particularly for the employees who are actually doing the registering. So Dawn, before we leave you, I want you to talk a little bit about a situation that happened with Mecklenburg County, and it resulted in, we had to make some adjustments to the training and what we were offering as a result of something that was outside of our control. And frankly, it was outside of Mecklenburg County's control too. Tell us more.
So Mecklenburg County experienced a cybersecurity breach, and basically what we learned, and obviously everybody here knows, is flexibility is paramount. And sometimes what you count on needs to change just a little bit. So what we were able to do is quickly say, okay, what can we assist with? And we actually just put out there, and we had cybersecurity training, and we got everybody in so that they were able to feel more comfortable about what emails are good, what emails are bad, how do you mark and check for those things that are happening. And it just showed again how the partnership really works, because as soon as they hit the problem, we were able to come across and say, all right, let's come up with a solution that works. And we found ourselves doing that quite a bit. That was just a great example of it.
Yeah, thank you for that example. And I love the Catapult spirit that existed, even if it was before Catapult days, the Employers Association. So Tracy, I'm going to come back to you to talk a little bit more about the Administrative Professionals Program. And one of the things that I find inspiring when we go to we call it the open house, you get to know a little bit more about it in the fall, is that you get to see these people, these employees, as they're thinking about applying, as they're thinking about, they may want to do this, and they have a lot of questions. The commitment is a significant one, and then you as the instructor gets to see the impact of that. So tell us how the series has been adjusted and improved, and how you're seeing the participants benefit as the years have gone on.
Absolutely. They are such a delight. Like, I love to see them. They're motivated. They have a desire when they come to class to learn, and just the consistent interest. They collaborate with each other during class, and they actually get to solve problems in class with one another. And every time they come, they're like, oh, I'm so glad to come back. And I think they're sad when it ends. They're like, oh, we can't believe it's over. It went so quickly. But the good news is the continuous improvement is there after each series. So Bryan and myself get together and we review the feedback from the evaluations that we receive. Also, face-to-face, people have come to me after class and said, hey, I love these. Can we keep doing these? I said, well, let Bryan know about that. So the shared experiences are really, really critical. And then the lovely part of it is the benefits, again, just seeing their excitement, and just it's so nice. So so often we not often, but on occasion we get people that attend class and say, oh, they made me come here today. And so this is so refreshing to be able to have people that are so interested in learning and enhancing their skills. And the best part is you get to see people that have been actually promoted, so that's always nice to see. And then people taking on new roles, I love that. And then just, really gaining that knowledge and the capacity to go further. And then also telling other people within Mecklenburg County about their experiences and encouraging them to sign up for the courses.
Yeah,
So it's
that word
really,
of mouth is the best advertising, right?
it sure is. Thank
Any
you.
final thoughts, Tracy?
No, I'm just such a privilege to be able to work with Bryan and Mecklenburg County and Dawn, and it's I get so excited when I hear we're gonna do this again, and like, yay!
Yeah,
So I hope
absolutely.
everyone that's listening today, really, takes it into heart as something that you ought to all consider. It's a wonderful experience.
Yeah, I think really the excitement and the enthusiasm that you're describing about the participants, because you're the one that's seeing them in the classroom, you get to live it with them every day, really has to benefit the organization of Mecklenburg County, because people feel like they've been invested in, and that their futures are part of the equation. And I think that's great that you have the ability to see that, every time you lead a class and work with them. So thank you for sharing that. The and kind of along those lines, Bryan, I'm going to come back to you to talk about how these programs, the technical skills courses, as well as the professional development courses in the administrative professional series, how do you see that affecting the retention rates and internal mobility within the organization?
I think the results have been remarkable. We've had a couple thousand or more people go through the program. In total, it has had a noticeable, significant effect on retention. We have seen folks get promoted. I've seen people get promoted after completing these courses. You get the supervisor involved who is supportive of this person developing these skills. And making them more competitive and eligible for those expanded growth opportunities. And then internal mobility, I've seen also people who are not in a pure or straight administrative professional role, but they've asked, hey, I want to go into this part of the organization. And so they have been able, because we in HR are funding these courses, we have had a number of people who have basically moved into this side of the organization because of this program. So I think it sends the picture, it sends the message, when we get that snapshot of their current skills and what they might need to focus on to be ready to be competitive for that next role. This helps them to understand what they need to focus on, and then they take the training, and then now they're more competitive and more eligible. So I think it does have a very strong and noticeable effect on both their eligibility for promotion, and then if they want to move into this role, it offers that as well.
Bryan, I think what you just described is incredibly empowering as well. That the individuals who go through these programs, that take the training, participate, they also probably gain a sense of confidence that they can navigate their own career path. That they're better prepared for that next opportunity. And I think that's an added benefit that might not be measurable. That sense of empowerment might not be something we can ever put a number on, but that you see it in the behavior, you see it in the attitude, you see it in, frankly, the risk taking that it requires to apply for the next job, to ask to be considered for a different role. And I think that there's so many impacts that these types of programs can have on individuals, that ultimately come back to benefiting the organization, because we all work for organizations, and you want to see both individual and organizational benefits of what we're offering by way of training. And I think Mecklenburg County is a wonderful example that we wanted to share with the rest of our membership and make sure that you guys were thinking about, what might this suggest to you? Now, Mecklenburg County they got thousands of employees. They're a really big employer. Your organization may be much smaller, much different. And so what we've just spent this time this morning describing may not be a perfect fit for you, but I'm going to give you some examples in a few minutes of other entities, other organizations that we've done ongoing programs with that maybe may work for you. But the point being that we at Catapult are committed to partnering with you, to making your organization more successful in as many different ways as possible. So moving on. Let's see, do I have another poll? Yes. Let's go to the third poll. I promise, I believe this is the last one. Trying not to make you work too hard on a Monday morning. Poll number 3, is your organization planning to implement employee training in 2025? And if so, where are you with this project? So some folks haven't started planning, others are exploring, some are interested but not sure where to start. And then some of you, doesn't look like, we've got a couple of folks. Some folks already have their plans together for 2025. And I know that some of you may have a fiscal year that has already just started. I think most municipalities and governmental organizations run on a July to June. So you may be in the middle of it. So your answer may be a little different. But just tell us where you are. Tell us where you are in terms of your planning for employee training in 2025. All right. A few more of you coming in to respond. And I'm going to remind, while I've got your fingers on your keyboard answering this question, to send us a couple of questions in the chat. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are and what your questions are based on the conversation so far this morning. All right, so it looks like the majority of you, are about half, are exploring and looking at what kinds of programs and courses you might offer. And about a third of you haven't yet started planning for it. So budget season is probably around the corner, and you're starting to think about, what kind of budget am I going to have, and what resources will I have to address the training needs of our organization. And then some of you are interested in this, but you're not really sure where to start. Well, I promise you there are 3 people on this call that can help you. Bryan would probably help you too, even though he doesn't work for Catapult. And then some of you already have plans ready to go for 2025, and you might be those folks that are already in your new budget year. But hopefully answering these questions and spending time with us this morning is kind of giving you a little motivation for what you might do in the future. And with that, I'm going to go back to Bryan to talk a little bit, ask you to talk about plans for continuing the partnership and enhancing employee development at Mecklenburg County. And Bryan, I promise this is my last question to you. So I hope that this has not been too tough on you on a Monday morning as well. So Bryan, tell us about the future.
Definitely, yeah, no problem. We have seen a lot of success in this program. I've had numerous people in the program and who are just taking the courses independently who want to ask what's next. So they get to the end of this certificate program for our administrative professionals, and they have asked me, what else is there? What else can I do? And so that has prompted discussions with Dawn and Tracy and some others there about what new content, what new programs, what next level can we create to continue this momentum, right? Because we want to see them in a two-way relationship. We are investing in them and they are taking advantage of these opportunities. And so our goal is to stay current, stay even ahead of, what might be out there as far as trends and skills, and continue to offer those development opportunities for our employees. And Catapult has been a great partner. The ladies are so easy to work with and have really helped me, to get my arms around this program and this type of content. So it's been really a pleasure.
Well, the feeling is mutual. We really enjoy working with our partners at Bryan. Bryan is only one of a number of folks that we work with at Mecklenburg County. And we really appreciate you being here with us this morning to explore and really, share with other members and even non-members of Catapult, just kind of how this has progressed over the years and developed. And so as an organization, you've benefited, the individuals that have gone through the training. And I love the idea that you're looking at, what could come next, what else could you do to offer. The investment that you're making comes back in terms of employees that are smarter, more skilled, more engaged, and all the things that organizations are really looking for as they go through their journey over time. So thank you for sharing all of that. So I talked about that Mecklenburg County is a standout example of how we have worked with cities and counties and other public entities across North Carolina, our coverage area. And there are others that I want to mention, but before I do that, I'd be remiss if I don't do a little PSA here towards the end that you're going to be getting an email with some information on special discounts and ways of contacting the learning team. So once you receive that, we hope you'll be interested in learning more and that you'll respond back and give us a chance to communicate with you and perhaps develop a program that really meets your needs as well. That's what we're here for. That's what the Learning Solutions team has the expertise and the capacity to work with our members on making sure that the learning programs that you come to Catapult for really do meet your needs. So with that, one last reminder of send us a question. I only see a couple here in the chat. But let me tell you about other organizations throughout the state and our membership who you come to us for a variety of training programs. We talked a lot about professional development and technical skills courses in this program because that's the majority of what we do with Mecklenburg County. But we also provide HR training and management development training, which was, if you go back to our last poll, the second poll, I think it was, management development was an area that a lot of you had an interest in. And we do that not only for public entities, but private organizations as well. But some of the ones that you might recognize, City of Gastonia, City of Raleigh, Town of Mooresville, City of Wilmington, and the Cape Fear Public Utility are just a couple more examples of public entities that we have deep relationships with and have worked with over time to meet their needs for training. A more recent development, one which I am very excited about because it's brand new, it's really just launched this summer, is the Mecklenburg ABC Board. And they came to us and said, we have employees at various levels, and we believe that they need training of different types. And so in conversation and consultation with us, we worked with the Mecklenburg ABC Board to put together 3 learning tracks for those different groups of employees, some of them individual contributors, some of them leaders and managers of other people. And so the collection of courses that they're each being offered depending on their role and responsibilities is really designed to fit what their role and responsibility. It is a combination of tech skills, professional development, and in some cases, management development courses. And we're very excited to see how that comes to fruition over the next year. It's, like I said, it just launched. Their budget year started in July, and it has just launched. So not a lot of details to talk about like we have in the 12 years with Mecklenburg County, but also a similar mindset on the part of the leadership and the organization to invest in their employees to make sure that they retain and they develop and they benefit organizationally from what's happening at an individual level. So very excited to tell you about that and to see what is to come. So perhaps a future case study that we might dig into as well. I'm going to slow things down here and say thank you to the 3 panelists that joined me today. Dawn Gates, Tracy Mambrino, our standout facilitator learning partners that I'm sure many of you already have wonderful relationships with. They perhaps have done training for most of your organizations and you know them well. And Bryan Calkin, thank you from Mecklenburg County for joining us and talking in great detail about what we've done with you and for you over the past decade plus. We really appreciate the opportunity and look forward to continuing to work with you all and help your employees move forward along with the organization. So I'm seeing, let's see, I see a couple of comments in the chat, and I'm just going to quickly give an answer here. So on the job work skills are another focus for your organization. So this is probably in to one of the poll questions that we had, and clearly the opportunity that any employee has to learn while on the job, regardless of what the role, what the responsibilities are, is incredibly meaningful. As adults, we like to see why we're doing something and see how somebody else does it and learn from that doing. You know, that's kind of the adult learning mindset. So thank you for that. And I see you got a thumbs up from somebody else in the program who agreed that on-the-job training is also another very important aspect of learning and development for any employee in any organization. The second question they asked about how these courses are part of the membership of Catapult. Training courses are outside of membership insofar as that there is an additional charge for training classes, but as a member, you enjoy at least a 25% discount off the retail price of the classes that we offer. So as a member, you get tremendous benefit. Like I said, at least 25%, and in some cases, you know, much higher deduction off of the traditional retail pricing. So we try to make it worthwhile for our members to come to us for the training that they need. We focus in on management development, professional development, HR training, and technical skills because we think that those are the most common across most of our member organizations, and we think that they offer the most benefit. Of course, your organization will have specific training needs that are subject, you know, that are particular to your industry or functions. We may or may not be able to help you, but don't hesitate to ask. We're willing to work with you and try to help out in whatever ways we can. We have a few minutes, but I want to see technical skills testing for software to determine. Yes, and so Dawn, I'm going to give you this question back because it really has to do with determining a current skill level and next skill level. So if you want to pick that one up, I think you addressed this from a Mecklenburg County standpoint. So you might want to speak to this.
Lori, we do for a group, it's a self-assessment. We do not have a true assessment that a lot of people, like if you were hiring somebody and you wanted to see whether they knew the application, you would want them to do one that actually has them go through the steps and the motions. And at this point, we currently don't offer that. But I think I see Jill on here with us. And I think that is something that if we have enough people say, hey, we're interested in that, it might be something that we look into. We used to do that, but our partner ended up changing and it didn't work out to the best advantage. The costing went really high and there were some free resources that people could use. So I'm not sure, but Lori, if you're interested, I'll pull aside. I don't see your last name on there, but I'll hopefully be able to find your registration and get you in context that maybe we could put you on that list of you are interested. Okay.
Thank you, Dawn. And Lori, I appreciate your, desire to make sure that you get the right training for the right for that individual. So hopefully we can do something to help you out. Any other questions before we wrap up? I hope you found the time and the storytelling interesting this morning and beneficial, and given you some things to think about as you move towards the end of 2024 and into 2025. And just know that your partners here at Catapult are ready to talk with you, ready to figure out what may be a great solution for your organization, given the resources that we have. We hope you'll put us at the top of your list of where you might go for that training and development. Like I said, you get a pretty hefty discount when you come to us as a member, and makes the economic side of this, which I know is always a consideration, a little bit easier to manage. Any final questions? Anybody on our panel have a final thought or comment before we close it out? Okay. Well, all of you that joined us this morning, we really appreciate your time, and we look forward to the next Thinking Differently with you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.